National Football League. Today from Rich Stadium, it's the Miami Dolphins versus the Buffalo Bills. Brought to you by Budweiser. Beach with age for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Samsonite. Our strengths are legendary.
Unseasonably warm with the threat of rain at Rich Stadium as the Dolphins and the Bills meet in a rematch of their October game. 5 is the number in the AFC East, a 5-team division with all 5. Tied for the top with 5-5 records and 5 games to play. The tiebreaker system may very well be needed at season's end, and right now the Colts have the advantage there. The Dolphins and the Bills have to keep on winning. Good afternoon, everyone. Don Crickey with Bob Trumpy. When these two teams met at Joe Robbie Stadium October 25th, it was a Marino-Kelly shootout. They combined for 6 touchdown passes. The Bills finally winning in overtime. And Trump, they're going to come out firing again today.
Yeah, these two teams definitely rely on their quarterbacks to get their offense going. You mentioned the 6 touchdown passes. They combined for 75 completions and 662 yards the last time they met in Miami.
Now, the Bills are a better defense than they were then with the acquisition of the great Cornelius Bennett, the linebacker from Alabama. He'll be coming on the blitz at Dan Marino.
Yeah, the Buffalo Bills today will start the 2nd overall pick in the draft this year. That's Cornelius Bennett at 1 linebacker. Shane Conlon, the 8th pick overall, will start at inside linebacker. This is a very young team with a great nucleus of defensive players to build on.
Roy Stratford's a terrific young player. He'll get his first start in the National Football League today. The first-year player from Boston College who tore up the Cowboys the last Dolphin game.
169 yards rushing. That's a new weapon that the Miami Dolphins have not really had for an extended period of time. A running game. Matter of fact, he's had a pretty great November. He's averaged 134 yards total offense per game, but the Dolphin defense will start the game today for Miami. Buffalo wins the toss.
They send back 3 kick returners. In the middle is Ricky Porter from Slippery Rock. Played well against the Jets. Today's kickoff is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, and Poivre Reves is into the ball. Line drive downfield. It'll be tough to handle. Porter at the goal line. Good hands. He fields the ball and dives out to the 23 or 4-yard line. Coming down to make the tackle was Bob Brzezinski. On special teams for Miami is Jim Kelly. A Miami Hurricane as a collegian. Comes out to lead the Buffalo offense. They'll start a rookie runner in Jamie Mueller. Ronnie Harmon, a 2nd-year player. He was the #1 draft choice out of Iowa a year ago. Burkett and Reed, 2 good downfield receivers. Metzlars doesn't get deep. Not a fast tight end, sure-handed, though. Offensive line has played well. Devlin, the right tackle, number 70, Jim Kelly thinks should go to the Pro Bowl. The Bills and the Dolphins rematching at October 25th game at Joe Robbie Stadium. And the Bills fell behind 21-0 and came back to win in overtime. The defensive front for Miami, so Shea leads a rather weak pass rush for the Dolphins. He leads in sacks with just 2.5. The rookie John Bosa Trump has yet to get a sack.
Not yet, and that's why they drafted him.
14-51.
Linebackers have been good, particularly Mark Brown at the outside. Been terrific.
Jackie Shipp is the leading tackler. They've been waiting a while for him to respond. And the defensive backs, Donovan Rose replacing Bud Brown because of that deep thigh bruise that Bud Brown has.
The delay was because the clock was out of order for the moment. It's ready to work now, and so is Kelly in the Bills offense. Second back through is Harmon. Straight at Miami. He gets to the 30-yard line. If the Bills should beat Miami, and Miami comes in here as a slight favorite on Buffalo's home field, it would be the first time since 1966 that Buffalo has swept 2 games from the Dolphins. That was their first year in the league, Miami.
It's been a while. Even though you can't really see it, it is drizzling rain, has been for about the last 2 days here in Buffalo. First part of this football game there, you see the rain. Both coaches want to establish just how good the footing is for their offense.
Now it's more than a drizzle, starting to pour hard. As Kelly again goes to the I-back, and Harmon, spinning off tacklers, is ahead for a first down. He crosses the 35-yard line. And finally, Offerdahl with his second tackle of Harmon, but it's a gain ahead to the 37.
One of the things you'll notice about this Miami defensive line is how far off the ball they play. They just try to take the middle of the offensive lineman. See, Offerdahl overruns the play. Excellent job up front by Vogler, the offensive guard. Tim Vogler getting Offerdahl out of the way. And a nice pickup for Buffalo. First down of the ball game.
Burkett wide to the right at the top of your screen. He's the Bills' best deep threat. Kelly goes right back to the money. Harmon getting yards every carry, and this time going behind Devlin. And going behind Vogler, the right guard, and Hull, the center. He powers his way on a 1st and 10 carry for a gain of almost 8 yards.
Jackie Shipp and Glenn Blackwood make the tackle. And as long as you find something that works, you stay with it. This time Offerdahl again handled very well by Tim Vogler, and Ronnie Harmon right up behind that block. That's a good 7, 8, 9-yard pickup for Buffalo.
Buffalo has had trouble running the ball this year. They got it going in the second half last week against the Jets. Harmon now 3 carries for 21 yards to lead off the game. Opening drive. Back to Harmon. Keep going to it till it works, and it works again. First down Bills as Harmon gets across midfield and down to the 48-yard line of Miami, where Offerdahl and Turner get him.
One of the things Miami has to do, there is real pressure on the Dolphins to win this game. With a 1-4 division record and 5-5 overall, this is a must-win. And now the defensive coaches for Miami must consider putting that 4th defensive lineman in there to at least slow down this run. Well, they still go with the 3-man front. See how far off the ball they are?
Off where they shouldn't be able to be blocked, where they can run and tackle, but the Bills have been blocking him. Back to Harmon, and Ronnie Harmon is inside the 45-yard line. On a 1st down carry, he's ahead for 5 more yards. They're going to keep showing the Dolphins the I formation and the tailback run until Miami can shut it down. So Shea makes the tackle.
Excellent job by Ken Hull, the center. So Shea 70 finally makes the tackle. Nice cutback by Harmon. He now comes out. Ricky Porter comes in. Now, generally, when Ricky Porter is in the ball game, he gets the ball either on a screen or he carries it. He's the deep back.
Mueller, the up back in that eye, the rookie fullback, has a 4.5 per carry average. You can run it too. He blocks again. And Porter breaks into the secondary, but here is the penalty marker thrown in by the umpire, which often signals offensive holding.
He was looking right into the offensive line. Donovan Rose and Blackwood make the tackle. Red Cash and the referee signals it's holding on Buffalo.
Holding during the run. Number 67 of the offense. Still 2nd down.
Ken Hull, the center, on Soche, the nose tackle. Marv Levy, the head coach, on the sideline, yelling and screaming. Should see the play right in front. And you see the block 65, 67 on 70. Yeah, grabbed him around the neck. And that meant Soche couldn't turn around and pursue the play. That was a good call. That was definitely a hold.
Bills have run the ball every play so far in the game. 6 straight runs. Now they have 2nd down coming up. Ronnie Harmon and Jamie Mueller in the backfield. Harmon comes out as a wingback as Kelly takes a look. Drills it out. With the ball is Mueller. Dolphins close in nicely and make the knockdown.
That didn't work.
Offerdahl led the tacklers. Also on the play was John Boza, the rookie defensive end.
Looked like it was going to be a screen, but there were no offensive linemen out in front of Mueller, and 2 linebackers were out there to make the tackle. So now the first real key down in this opening drive by Buffalo. 3rd down in the front, 3rd down and 19 for them.
Holding call took Buffalo out of its drive after the Bills had run the ball very well on 6 straight plays. Shula's had a tremendous record against the Bills. Shula coached Dolphin teams are 31-4.
6 DBs in for Miami, Don.
Kelly gets time. Comes it over the middle. He goes to Harmon, trying to run free. The Dolphins trying to cut him down, and they make a hit and will stop him short of the 1st down. And Buffalo's drive, because of that penalty, will stop. And the Bills have to send out their punting team. The Dolphins will get the ball for the first time. Rene Thompson was across to close off the run. Scott Schwades, the rookie from Syracuse, goes back deep now for Miami. He had a tough game in that October 25th meeting.
Did he ever? Fumbled a punt, fumbled a kickoff, dropped a pass from Syracuse. Has a chance to atone for all those mistakes today.
But overall, he's had a very good first year, Scott Schwades. kid, not a long punter, but he's good at placing the ball inside the 20. This one is hit well. It'll carry inside the 15-yard line. Grady's living dangerously, is knocked down at the 13-yard line. And I think that's right, Trump. He was living dangerously, trying to atone, and that time he's cut down but holds on. Dolphins get the ball for the first time, but they'll start in their own end. Inside the 15-yard line, Marino set to work when we come back.
This is the home of the world-famous Clydesdales, a symbol of Budweiser's tradition of quality. Quality you find only in the king of beers, because this Bud's for you. It's a Radio Shack Merry Christmas.
Oh, I remember that Christmas. Dad gave me my first shortwave radio from Radio Shack. What memories. This Christmas, we got...
Marino set to work at quarterback. Bradford, as we mentioned, getting his first start at running back. Davenport is the starting fullback. Woody Bennett has a sore ankle. Wasn't going to go full speed. It didn't appear in the warm-ups, or unable to, so we'll see Woody probably, but not to start. Cooper and Clayton set to go, and so is the tight end Hardy, who was doubtful earlier in the week. Stevenson, a five-time All-Pro at center. Foster's been to the Pro Bowl twice. Ronnie Lee having a very good year at right tackle for Miami. No score. Dolphins first possession. Right to work. Goes the right arm of Dan Marino, and he's got Davenport, and he's got a first down and plenty more. As the Dolphins on their first play from scrimmage rip it off all the way out to the 37-yard line.
Shane Conlon makes the tackle. Maybe that's why Davenport started.
22-yard gain on the play.
Davenport, a much better receiver than Woody Bennett. And you see the good fake to Troy Stratford, Marino, that underneath passing game. The foot speed of the running back's better than the foot speed of the linebackers. 97 Radisek misses the tackle. 22 yards, and Davenport goes out. Bennett comes in.
And in the game at the top of your screen, 34. Bradford, the other setback. First and 10 Miami. Bradford. They'll stick him. Got a couple out to the 39-yard line. As we check the Buffalo defense, Bruce Smith, the Jet offensive lineman, says the best pass rusher in the NFL. Smurl is having a good year at nose tackle. Linebackers have been the strength of an improving defense. Shane Collins been terrific. First-year player, first-round draft choice in Penn State. Cornelius Bennett, the second player picked in the entire draft. And believe it or not, the linebacker that grades out the highest of all is Darryl Talley at the right outside. Rookie at right corner. Marino will be looking at him a lot. Nate Odom. Penalty knocker down as Marino fires a fastball and throws a strike. The free ball on the field, though, and if it is, Bills might have it. Dan Johnson, the tight end, had it. Officials are signaling a catch, a fumble, and a recovery. There was a penalty marker, but apparently Trump was against Miami.
It's against Miami. The fumble will stand. The ball is turned over to Buffalo. Unfortunately, here's the call by Red Cashion. Let's get that first.
Illegal motion on the offense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Don, one of the big problems the Dolphins have had so far this season is the tight ends can't seem to hang on to the football. Bruce Hardy last week had drops all over the place.
Watch Cornelius Bennett here now.
Now this time the ball is to Dan Johnson. There's not really a lot of pressure on Dan Marino, but the ball is knocked loose by Cornelius Bennett, and it's recovered by Darryl Talley. First and 10 for Buffalo. Tight end's a big part of the offense for Miami. One. Oh, I'm not sure he ever had control of that ball, Don. I'm really not sure he ever had control of that ball. It looks like the umpire is talking to the replay official. The rule is you got to have that second foot down before it's a completion, and you have to have clear control of it. We may have spoke a little too quickly here. Let's watch again. 55 is Cornelius Bennett. Dan Johnson has to come back for it a little bit. That second foot never comes down. That second foot never comes down. That's going to go as an incompletion in my estimation.
Well, we'll see if Jack Reeder in the booth agrees with you. So while that is being reviewed on television replay in the booth, we take a look at the scoreboard where Eric Dickerson has run for 19 yards and a touchdown for the Colts. They lead Houston 7-0. Packers out in front of heavily favored Chicago.
Wait a minute, Don. I think they've made the decision, and I think it's going to be Miami ball. Here's Red Cashion. Yes, sir. Incomplete pass. Incomplete pass. Now they got to figure out where the ball was.
Well, it was up to a penalty marker.
Yeah, they've already moved the chains. Now they got to figure out where the ball goes. It'll be a 5-yard penalty for illegal motion on Miami. Oh, they got it marked. No problem whatsoever. I think that's a good call. If we can see that again, the rule is control of the football, second foot down before it is a catch. Now watch his left foot. First one comes down, then it hits him. That second foot never comes down. Ball loose, incomplete pass. Excellent call. Beautiful use of the replay.
Something we rarely hear from you.
Well, I think Reeder's one of the best.
Oh, Reed,
I really do.
question.
He doesn't waste a lot of time.
Coach Levy not thrilled by it all.
They're going to decline the penalty, make it 2nd and 10.
Levy has a great definition of a great coach. He says a great coach is a guy who won last week.
And last year.
Bills have been an odd team since the strike. Win one, lose one, win one, lose one, win one. 3-2 since the strike.
Now, this is the best part of the Miami football team. 3rd and 10, and to this point in the season, they have converted 51% of their third down. They bring in Tony Nathan. They bring in Jim Jensen. Jensen runs off. This is where the Miami Dolphins are at their best.
3rd and 10. Crowd starts up. Rain has let up now. Over 70,000 at Rich Stadium. As Marino stands in, gets time, floats it downfield, free ball, incomplete. And the Dolphins have to punt the ball back to Buffalo. Now we have a moment to NFL Live. Here's Bob Costas. Bob?
Okay, Don, watch Eric Dickerson go to work at the Hoosier Dome. He had 38 yards on the Colts' first possession, including this 19-yard touchdown. He has run for 100 or better in all 3 games he started for the Colts, trying to make it 4 in a row. Colts lead the Oilers 7-0.
Thank you, Bob. Ron Pitts is back deep for the Bills. They're pretty good at getting to the punter, though, Trump.
They've blocked 4 so far this season.
Ball hit downfield by Roby. He turns the spiral over. Long punt. Pitts from UCLA. His dad is Elijah Pitts, the former great Packer. And a coach with Buffalo now takes it to the 23-yard line. So the Bills get it for a second time. Still no score up here at Rich Stadium. Kelly coming back out. Dolphins usually open fast. The Bills do not, at least this season. Only 10 offensive points in the first quarter for Buffalo. And as you see, no touchdowns by the offense.
Yeah, that touchdown was a fumble recovery by Mark Kelso. So 3 points generated by the Bills offense in the first quarter.
Remember, the Bills ran the ball so well. Their first possession, back to Harmon they go. Dolphins run him down, though, and there's no gain on the play. Maybe a loss of a yard. Well
Bad
done
choice
by Bob Brzezinski and John Offerdahl, 2 linebackers running him down.
Bad choice by Harmon that time. He'd been getting good yards going straight ahead. Then when he cut to the outside, you see Offerdahl trying to take the side of the offensive guard, Vogler. And then when he starts stringing it out, that allows the good foot speed of Offerdahl and also Mark Brown to get out there. Brzezinski, Langford, they're all out there to help on the tackle.
Miami's defense grades out only 25th in the NFL. Giving up a lot of yards as Kelly looks for some now. Dumps it over the middle to Andre Reed. And he is out to the 29-yard line. A gain on the play of about 7 yards. Brings up 3rd down. Offerdahl on the tackle again. He makes $1 million.
Tackles, not dollars.
Yeah, well,
okay.
He probably does that too now.
No, not yet. Not yet. He'll get it, but not yet.
You look at the scoreboard. Jets scoring on a touchdown pass from Ken O'Brien. St. Louis up on Atlanta. Neil Lomax throwing to Troy Johnson. Jim Kelly has thrown for 13 touchdowns this year. He's been intercepted 8 times. Big and strong, he'd be a linebacker. He wasn't a quarterback. Here's a long ball. It looks to be a bit long, almost on target. Streaking out of the backfield is the very fleet Ronnie Harmon. Had a step on the linebacker, Jackie Shipp, who was trying to cover him. No completion.
You can see what they're trying to do. Isolate running backs on linebackers, but Chris Burkett was open. He sits on the left side of the formation. He circles underneath. He's at about the 35-yard line. That would have picked up the first down. Jim Kelly was trying to go for the big bomb, just overthrew Ronnie Harmon for an incompletion.
Dolphins could get good field position as John Kidd is set to punt. Wades is back for Miami. Low line drive. Wades will have room to run it back. And he comes right at the Bills and is tripped up at the 36 or 7-yard line. Down to make the play was Wayne Davis, a 43-yard punt and 11-yard return. Dan Marino with some last-minute counsel from Shula. He'll be out to run the offense in a moment. Dan Marino, the #1 rated passer of all time. There's never been a quarterback who makes the read and gets the ball away faster. He has been sacked this season only 6 times. And over his career, now to his 5th year in the NFL, he's sacked on the average of once for every 36 pass attempts. That's probably an all-time mark.
Remarkable. With no running game, they still can't get to him.
I set. Bradford the deep back on 1st down and 10 for Miami. Bradford with Bennett blocking. Turns the corner and he pays. Lost the ball but out of bounds. 2nd down coming up. Now while we have a moment, back to NFL Live. Bob?
All right, Don, the Jets lead Cincinnati 7-0. 65-yard opening drive capped this way. Freeman McNeil slips out of the backfield, makes a little stutter step after latching onto O'Brien's pass, and then he dives to the flag, beating 2 defenders to the end zone. A 7-0 Jet lead over the Bengals.
And here in Western New York, Orchard Park, New York, nothing up on the board yet. Miami set to go now with a 2nd down and 8 play coming up. Reno puts his speed on the near flank at the lower portion of your screen. Duper and Clayton running downfield patterns as the flag goes down, and the hit is made out of the reception at the 42.
That's on Buffalo. Fred Smirlis, the nose tackle.
2 markers down at the line of scrimmage. Cornelius Bennett made the play downfield. Bennett, number 55, part of that much talked about Eric Dickerson trade.
Interesting to note, too, that Buffalo was not in the remotest interested in Eric Dickerson. Their sole involvement was to get Cornelius Bennett.
And what Marv Levy, their coach, as you know, Trump says about him, he's not only a tremendous player right away, but what he does is makes everybody else better.
Offside, number 76 on the defense, still 2nd down.
Walt Corey, the defensive coordinator of Buffalo, also coached 2 Hall of Famers, Willie Lanier and Bobby Bell. And he said this guy is head and shoulders above those 2 in football instincts and athletic ability. They're just beginning to find out what this kid can do, Cornelius Bennett. Offsides on Smirlis, and there's the wild card now in this defense.
He was expensive, but well worth it. His signing bonus was $2 million. 2nd and short. Bradford weaves and gets the 1st down. Both arms on the ball, protecting it from the big hitters, and he's out to the 48-yard line. Radisick, who came in here with Walt Corey from Kansas City. He's done well at inside backer, 97, another Penn State backer.
He was basically expendable in Kansas City because they went from the 34 defense, where he played one of the 2 inside linebackers, to a 43. They kept Dino Hackett. Radisick became available. Roy Stratford now 3 carries, 9 yards.
5:50 to play in the 1st quarter. Temperature in the 40s. The rain has stopped. Marino buying time and then realizes nobody's open, so he wisely throws it away. Brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Dolphins.
Very seldom do you see the Miami Dolphins just give up on a play. That's why Marino's so hard to sack. Watch Cornelius Bennett. He's on Troy Stratford. He's allowed that 1 chuck, and boy, he makes it a big-time chuck. Bennett's quick enough and has enough athletic ability to cover most running backs out of the backfield.
Well, the best recommendation, Trump, I've heard of Bennett is from Ray Perkins, who coached him at Alabama, and who also coached after drafting Lawrence Taylor with the Giants. He said Cornelius Bennett will be better than Lawrence Taylor.
That's saying something. That's a lot to live up to.
Will be. Bradford on 1st down breaks into open field, and this 5'9", 190-pound runner takes it ahead for a Dolphin 1st down. He gets 13 yards. Bennett was on the tackle, running all the way over from the opposite side of the field, along with one of the safeties, Dwight Drain.
One thing about Cornelius Bennett, he'll never give up on a play. The sweep is the other way, pursues down the line in a full gallop. Now watch him gain. He's gaining on Troy Stratford. Drain and Bennett make the play. A big assist to Pruitt, 82, who had the big block on that play. He sealed the corner for Stratford to get upfield.
This is only his 4th game for Buffalo, Cornelius Bennett, just his 3rd as a starter. First and 10 Miami in the scoreless first quarter. Quick out with the ball. Stratford loses the ball. Buffalo's got it at their 42-yard line. They're not done yet. Running an open field. It's a live play. Dwight Drain takes it all the way in, and he's in for a touchdown. Let's see if they're going to mark it down.
Well, the official back here is saying Buffalo's ball, but we're going to have to see what the replay says. Now, the change is if the official on the field rules down on contact, then there's not going to be any replay.
But if it wasn't down on contact, it's a live ball, and he can go with it.
You're absolutely right. Now, if they're going to give the ball to Buffalo, the touchdown is going to have to stand. This is called a slip screen, Don. They try to get it out there as quick as possible. You see Ronnie Lee, 72, is there to help. No catch. No catch.
Was it a lateral? That's the other thing. Was it a forward pass? But the forward passer was not caught. If it's a lateral, it's a live ball.
I think that's a pass forward. That's not a catch. That is for sure. This is going to be twice now that Buffalo's come up on the short end of this stick. Here's Red Cashin.
The pass is ruled as an incomplete pass. He's set it out.
I think that's a good call.
I do too. It was a forward pass. That's what the ruling is. If it's a forward pass, it was definitely not a complete ball, so they're right again.
Now, you don't see Marv Levy really complaining a great deal either about the call. He was standing right there. It happened right in front of him. Well, that the brakes are going against Buffalo in the early stages of the game. That's twice now.
I tell you, the Dolphins, though, Trump, are living dangerously, coughing it up, even though they haven't been caught yet.
Watch where he's throwing it. Second hash mark behind the big line. Stratford catches it at the line. It's not a lateral. It's simply an incomplete pass. And Bennett's there again. Is there more than 155 on that field?
Omnipresent, Cornelius Bennett.
Good call.
Second down and 10 comes up. Marino just 1 for 5 for 22 yards. He's missed his last 5 throws. For the run, Bradford leaves outside. Bruce Smith gets him and now it all kindly bangs him down.
That was more of a deposit than it was a tackle.
We're talking about a man there.
Sometimes this kid is absolutely Superman. Other times he takes plays off. That's in previous seasons. Now,
this year, he's been great.
He's bent on being an all-pro. Leads the team in sacks. Has never been to the Pro Bowl, been an alternate.
In fact, he leads all linemen in the AFC in sacks. He has 8.
Watch Marino here now, Don. Watch his foot. Watch what he does. Just before he's ready, watch his right foot. See there, he lifted? I'll tell you what that's for in a minute.
Stop and throw, and here's the connection, and a hit short of the first down on 3rd down. Revay's a long-range booter, though, will probably go for the field goal from here.
Harold Talley makes the tackle, trying to get the underneath stuff. Unfortunately, they just couldn't get it 13 or 14 yards down the field. Now, watch Dan Marino when he's back in the shotgun. When he lifts his right foot, he's telling Dwight Stevenson, snap it when you want. They have no snap count from the shotgun. And in that way, they can run the shotgun in the King Dome, and they can run it in the Astrodome. They can run it anywhere where there's lots of noise. I asked him that this morning, and I thought it was something sophisticated. He said, nah, that's just telling Stevenson, snap it when you're ready, pal.
Gets us back deep. They're going to punt the ball, not risk this long field goal. Wind is starting to become a factor. The flags were not up at all at the outset of the game, but the winter winds are starting to sweep down from Canada. And as this afternoon wears down, there's expected to be gusts up to 30 miles an hour.
Field 4th down.
Delay of game intentionally taken by Miami.
We're at Rich Stadium, home of the Buffalo Bills. Bills haven't beaten Miami here since 1981, and a reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game at the conclusion of the game. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy, 3 minutes and 43 seconds to play in the first quarter. Jacoby puts it up nicely. Bills will let it hop. Dolphins are down to cover it. Takes a Buffalo bounce, and they down it at the 15-yard line. Dan Johnson down the ball, just a 22-yard punt, but well placed inside the 20 as Mr. Kelly gets set to bring his right arm out when we come back to Rich Stadium. Indianapolis continues to lead Houston. Brent Forward's touchdown run puts Green Bay in front of favorite Chicago, a game of importance to this division. New England, an AFC Eastern team, down to Philadelphia 3-0 now in the second quarter at Foxborough. Morton Anderson kicked a field goal for New Orleans. He misses about once every 3 weeks. Kelly putting it up on first down. Long ball downfield. Man is open. Andre Reed. He's out to the 45-yard line. So Kelly goes to the deep ball on first down and hits a 32-yard strike to Andre Reed.
First completion of any real consequences down the field. William Judson was the man in coverage. You see the motion creates man-to-man coverage. Andre Reed runs an excellent slant-in pattern. Kelly puts it right on the numbers. Judson off in coverage quite a bit. These cornerbacks from Miami have had their problems this season. I'm sure Buffalo will continue to exploit those cornerbacks.
Fourth-round draft choice out of Cooktown State in Pennsylvania. Good player. Handoff Harmon. Stutter stepping. Finds a way, and look at that quickness to the outside. A first down run by Ronnie Harmon is good for 9 yards as the Bills are down to the Miami 45. William Judson ran him out of bounds, but you remember the Bills got down here on the Dolphins before and then were called for holding. Took him out of the drive. No score up yet in the first quarter, late in it, 2:43 to play.
Watch the way this Buffalo offensive line just neutralizes the Miami defensive line. Nobody wins, but nobody loses either. And then Harmon finally breaks to the outside. 73, Will Wolford finally pushes someone inside. Harmon picks up 9 quick yards.
Kelly on second and short. Stands in, dumps it over the middle, and Metzler's his tight end, and he takes it down to the Miami 32-yard line. Knocked down by Mark Brown, but the Bills get 14 yards and a first down. Interesting play call.
One of the things you got to like about this Bills offense, very similar to Miami's offense in that Kelly will throw it to anybody. He does not have a favorite receiver. He spreads it around. Metzler's at 6'7", 250 pounds. Not a bad target.
I set on first down. Harmon. He is quick. Bills wanted what they got when they drafted him in the first round a year ago. Everybody loved him coming out of Iowa. Bill Walsh at San Francisco tried hard to trade up in the first round to get him. Did very little as a rookie, but as a second-year player, he looks like the real thing.
Excellent receiver. Excellent receiver. John Offerdahl and Brzezinski that time made the tackle. The linebackers are now getting in on the act here. I notice that Ricky Porter's in the ballgame again. Very few times is he in there that he doesn't get it.
He's the eye back. And he does indeed get it on a second down and 6 run. He doesn't get much. Miami takes him down at about the 27-yard line. Brzezinski, 59, made the play.
This Porter kid, you name a league, he's played in CFL, played for Marv Levy for Montreal before they folded, played in the U.S. Football League, and now in the NFL. Marv Levy always liked his tenacity.
Only player in the league from Slippery Rock, I believe, ever.
Ever?
You want to thumb back to the 50,000 guys?
No, thank you. I'll take your word for it.
Third down and 4.
This is a pass in the shotgun.
It is indeed. It's a connection also. Andre Reed running inside the 10, and he dives down to the 9-yard line.
Missed tackle by David Fry.
17-yard gain on that play.
Glenn Blackwood was the man in coverage. He slipped Glenn Blackwood first. And then David Fry, 53, missed him. Just a little pattern, kind of an out turn by the receiver. You can see Blackwood misses him, then Fry misses him. Ends up being a 17-yard pickup. Buffalo certainly moved the ball almost at will as the first quarter comes to an end.
That's the first 15 minutes, and they're up and cheering. 70,000 strong at Rich Stadium as the Bills drive close, but still no points. Now Miami's defense to be tested. When we come back, nothing at the moment. Don Cricket with Bob Trumpy back at Rich Stadium. No score, but the Bills are challenging. The Buffalo players, Trump, feel that their win over the Dolphins at Miami, something that happens once in a lifetime for Buffalo, really turned this team around. It gave them a lot of confidence.
There are two ways to improve in the NFL, Don, physically and psychologically. And coming from a 21-point deficit to beat Miami in overtime is a tremendous spiritual lift for this football team. There's a very little difference in a lot of football teams in the NFL. Some just think they're great. Others know they're great. And when you have a win like that over Miami, all of a sudden you start to feel, hey, wait a minute, we can play with the big guys, and that's the way Buffalo's played since.
But still no points up. Kelly has the edge in the rematch of these two top throwers. He's completed 6 or 7 throws so far and gotten them down close. Dan Marino, though, is a guy that takes you right down to the gun usually. This one could be a shootout to the final buzzer again.
This Miami football team is very seldom out of any game that they play because they can strike so quickly, and they are also so disciplined, I think, to handle the situation. They don't mind giving up points defensively because they think their offense can come back, and on any given day, no matter what the weather is, they can get the ball in the end zone.
Well, we don't want to put the hat on Jim Kelly, but the second quarter has not been his quarter, Trump. He's had a lot of problems this season in the second quarter. Has thrown most of his interceptions then and has had very little success for some reason. He's been a second-half player. Marino, of course, throughout his career has been an all-game player. He's out of it when they shoot the gun off at the end of the fourth quarter, and they end it.
Time of possession in favor of Buffalo. Yards in favor of Buffalo. Most of it coming on the opening drive for no points. And this drive, now first and goal from the 9.
Tough yards. Miami defense with not much to defend now. Just inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, pitch back Harmon. Turns the corner, gets the block. He's down to about the 5-yard line. Gain of close to 5 yards. Knocked out of bounds by Donovan Rose and Jackie Schiff.
Excellent lead block by Carl Byram. Big kid at 6 foot 235. And also Tim Vogler, the guard, out there on a nice pull. Actually, I thought he'd get a lot more yards than that.
In that New England game, Tom Ramsey passed to Tony Collins for a touchdown. The Patriots now lead the Eagles 7-3. Early moments of the second quarter here at Rich Stadium.
Watch the pick here on the near side. Now watch it on the far side.
Mueller, the rookie, he's in. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Great story. This kid is from a school so small, Benedictine College. They did not even have a playbook. And when he showed up for the Bills training camp, they handed him a playbook, and he said, "What's this?" He didn't know what a draw was. He had no idea. He can play.
I think we can also safely say, Trump, he's the only Benedictine Raven in the league.
Raven.
They were the Ravens.
All right.
Are the Ravens.
I think you're probably right about Benedictine College.
So the Bills go up first. Norwood with the point after, puts it up and through. Early in the second quarter, 14:51 to play in the half. Buffalo takes a 7-0 lead.
Today's game is brought to you by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevy truck. By Bud Light, everything else is just a light. And by IBM.
Lights are on. Rain has stopped. Might be just a misting rain falling now. Should not be a factor in play. As Schwades is back deep, also back for the Dolphins, Lorenzo Hampton. The Bills with a very well-conceived drive, 85 yards in 8 plays.
Big play was that reception by Andre Reed, the 40-yarder.
Norwood kicks off. Hampton from the 11-yard line. Special teams play. Makes a hit at the 23-yard line. Keep going after the hit, just like we like it.
Back to the touchdown by Buffalo. A well-executed sweep. The center haul. Vogler does a great job. Wolford pulls. Mueller cuts it up in there. Mark Brown almost makes the tackle. Mueller with good second effort gets in the end zone. On ground level, coming right at you. This is a great double guard pull. Well, they really kick him out. Mueller, great job of balance to get in the end zone. Buffalo scores first.
Marino on first down. Here comes the rush. He gets the ball away just before he's hit by Gerald Talley. It is an incomplete pass, but he had nowhere to go with the ball, and very nearly a sack as Buffalo's defense quite obviously ignited by the touchdown drive.
One of the problems that you face when you play the Buffalo defense now, right inside Talley, is Bruce Smith, the best pass rusher. So if you assign your offensive tackle to Smith, you got to slide your guard out on Talley, and if he's not there in time, he makes contact. That's what happened on that play, Don.
They used to triple team Smith. They can't do that anymore. Bennett and Conlon and Talley as the backers. Here's the throw, an incomplete ball at the 29-yard line. Right on target was Dan Marino, but Lorenzo Hampton was hit as the ball came in. Bennett and Radisick got him.
Not normally Dan Marino numbers. They're also 0 for 2 in third down conversions. They come into the ball game leading the league with 51% of the third downs converted. They lead the NFL in first downs made.
And they're tough on third down, which is coming up now. They're the best in the league, as you see, 51%.
Watch that foot again now. Snap it when you want. You see Stevenson, he looks around, makes sure everybody's right, and snaps it when he wants.
Marino stands in. He gets away up first, and now it's going to be, well, let's see.
It's the first down.
He's got it, I believe. Yes, they're going to spot it across the 35-yard line. So Marino, just before he was hit, rifles a sharply thrown ball to James Pruitt. Good for a Dolphin first down.
Again, one of the little coaching points for the shotgun. Stevenson's looking for that foot. Marino says, I'm ready. Stevenson looks around, points, slide one way or the other. And now Pruitt runs a nice pattern underneath the coverage. And it's enough for a first down.
Pruitt's made some big plays. Has also had some problems with drop balls this season. First and 10 Dolphins. They trail 7-0. And losing his footing in the backfield, that was going to be a trick play.
Yep. Troy Stratford, that was going to be a reverse. Dan Marino was one of the lead blockers. I'll tell you what they're trying to take advantage of here. Bruce Smith is in so quickly. Watch him 78 on 79 Geisler. He's trying to get to the quarterback so quickly. It's going to be a reverse. There should be no support there, but Stratford slips and loses about 5 yards, second and 15.
Bradford not too productive today on 6 carries.
16 yards.
Second and long now for Miami. Second down and 15 for Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
Smith again.
That's why he was drafted #1 in the league when he came out 3 years ago out of Virginia Tech. Bruce Smith arm tackles the 190-pound runner and slams him.
Again, they tried to pull away from Smith. Watch the line pull away from Smith. He just jumps inside. Dwight Stevenson, 57, tries to pull that on him. Smith is too quick. Makes his second straight tackle for a loss.
Cornelius Bennett looks like he's going to be coming a blitzing on this one. As we go to live action now on third down and about 19. Bennett at the top of your screen, 55. He's coming at Marino. Here's Bennett as Marino gets it away, going deep. And a penalty marker's down. It'll be against Buffalo. No interception. That's going to go for a Miami first down. Bills defender grabbed the receiver, Mark Duper, as he went by.
I think you got it right on the money, Mr. Cricky. You're allowed that one, Chuck.
That's 30 yards downfield, though.
No, first 5 yards. The next one costs you. Unless it's incidental contact, as it's called. It ends up that Kelso makes the interception. It will not count.
Illegal contact. Number 29 on the defense.
Eric Burrows. No question about it.
Probably a smart play. Duper was going by him.
He can do that.
Sure, you'll give up 10 yards to save a touchdown. That's not a bad choice.
Colts now extending their lead as Hogaboom has thrown to Albert Bentley 72 yards for a touchdown. Houston might be coming a cropper, blown away by Cleveland last week.
That team has always had trouble winning on the road.
Game clock shows 12 minutes and 14 seconds to play in the first half. The Bills lead the game. They scored early in this quarter on a 5-yard touchdown run by rookie Jamie Mueller, culminating an 85-yard drive. Now the Dolphins have first down and 10 coming up. Marino beautifully gets it all away, and Stratford running in the open field. He's across midfield and out to the 49-yard line. An 18-yard gain, as Marino had nowhere to go over the top, so he sidearmed the ball to Stratford.
Bruce Smith again right in his face. Talley comes to the outside, and Bruce Smith went to the inside. You're right, he looked like Dan Quisenberry throwing that one. Let's watch the pass rush. Watch what happens. Kind of delays a minute. Goes right by Giesler. And Marino just, whoop, little flip. Stratford turns it into a 17-yard pickup.
Bernie Kosar, the Browns, take the Bills alive with that sidearm delivery, throwing short underneath the linebacker. Another throw, free ball, it's intercepted by Buffalo. That one will go as an interception. Coming up with the ball was Scott Radisick.
That's why Ron Davenport started the game instead of Woody Bennett. Bennett does not have particularly good hands.
So Coach Shula sees a drive stall and a turnover. Buffalo gets it when we come back.
Always done an outstanding job of using players at what they do best, but as you can see on this play, because of pressure from Bruce Smith from the right side, Marino's forced to throw it to somebody that he really doesn't want to throw it to. Bennett, not a particularly good receiver, has 3 catches on the year. Radisick makes the interception. That's what pressure will do to a quarterback. Make you throw it to a guy you don't want to.
Harmon on first down. Dolphins give him nothing, and he's taken down after a gain of only a yard. That time the Miami backers shot the gap. John Offerdahl running him down. As we remind you that this telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League. It is intended for the private use of our audience, and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Buffalo Bills and the National Football League is prohibited. The game is the property of the National Football League. Buffalo Bills and Miami Dolphins, all rights reserved.
To this point, this game absolutely owned by Buffalo. Well, they can't get impatient, Don.
Well, they're going up top. 2nd and 9. Here's a throw and a catch. Metzlar's the tight end is down inside the 44-yard line. Gain of 12 on the play. Bills first down. Don Shula was telling us the last time they met in the second half, everything Kelly threw was right on a receiver's hand.
Well, with a wingspan like this kid's got a good one. At 6'7", 6'7 and a half. All you got to do is get it close to Pete Metzlar's.
He was a little All-America basketball player at Wabash College. Kelly 7 for 8 throwing the ball for 81 yards. Bills lead second quarter 7-0. Harmon. Room to run. Harmon goes down to the 35-yard line of the Dolphins. Gain of about 9 yards on the play as the Bills again get those tackles and guards out on the backers.
Offerdahl and Green on the tackle. Offensive line of the Bills doing a great job, and Harmon, an excellent cutback runner. See all the pursuit is out here. He cuts back to the inside. Offerdahl has to change directions, come back and make the tackle, but that's another 9-yard pickup for those numbers.
Harmon again, and again he finds room to run in the middle of the Dolphin defense and takes the ball down to the 25-yard line. Hugh Green made the knockdown, but he did it about 9 yards downfield.
Buffalo offensive line just blowing out the nose tackle. Let's see if we can pick it up. All of 67, look at that. A great job of creating a big bow in that defensive front. Jackie Shipp misses the tackle 50. Mark Brown almost gets him down. And then finally, I believe it's Offerdahl who was given credit for Hugh Green given credit for the tackle.
Will Wolford, left tackle, had a good block. Back to the run. This time it's Porter running the ball. Ricky Porter takes it inside the Dolphins' 20-yard line. Buffalo coming very crisply off the ball at the snap, winning the line of scrimmage.
Miami's just got to give Buffalo a different look defensively. Look at the yards allowed. This is not out of character for the Miami defense, but they've got to give them a different look just to change the assignment. The offensive line of Buffalo is now wired into this defense. They got control of it, so Miami's got to change.
Head Mark Cabrota and Ted Palmer up in the booth calling the offensive plays for the Bills as the handoff goes to Harmon. Not a lot there on a second down and about 5 play. He is down close to the 16-yard line. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
WSTN TV, Syracuse.
Bob Trumpy, Rich Stadium, Orchard Park, New York. The Bills looking for their first sweep of the Dolphins since 1966. First year Miami was in the league. Now holding to a 7-0 lead is Buffalo. The Dolphins on defense being pushed back as Buffalo goes to a short yardage play, 3rd and less than 2. Over the top goes Miller. Jamie Mueller, who was in the end zone, you'll remember, from 5 yards out. The last time he had the ball, takes it ahead for a Buffalo first down.
They're eaten alive, Don. This is not something you would expect out of the Buffalo offense. They are not a particularly good running team, averaging just 116 yards per game. But to this point in the first half, absolutely blowing Miami out. Offerdahl tries to meet in the middle of the pile there. Buffalo already has 86 yards rushing.
And they're moving the clock. It's down to 7:10 to play. First half. Bills lead 7-0. Here comes Harmon. Weaving. Breaking tackles. Any way he can, including the back step. And he's down inside the 10-yard line. Eric Dickerson has just run for his 2nd touchdown of the day as the Colts extend their lead to 21-3 over the Oilers. Philadelphia taking command at New England for the moment, 17-7. Steelers have now come back to lead New Orleans 7-3, and the Jets have extended their lead to 10-0 on a Pat Leahy field goal. Cardinals doing well at Atlanta. Porter. Great power football. Right back to the Lombardi axiom. Blocking by experts wins on offense.
Turner and Brzezinski make the tackle here. The thing I like most about this drive, Don, is that they've been very, very patient. Not made a dumb play yet. This was a result of the interception by Radisic. They did not lose their cool. Stayed right with it. Been a good sustained drive that started at their own 44.
Page 5 headings. He wants them bolder.
10th play of the drive coming up for the Bills, who lead the game in the 2nd quarter, 7-0.
Interesting thing about the Bills to this point, they've passed for 80 yards, rushed for 95. And repeat, they average 116 yards a game. It's going their way.
Bills like Marv Levy. The players say he's a player's coach. This whole organization is really tied together after some lean years. Bill Polian, the general manager, he's got to be lead candidate for GM of the year, working the Cornelius Bennett deal. Positioning himself on the draft, getting Shane Tomlin. Over the top goes Mueller, and the Dolphins throw him back. But did he get a first down on?
Yes.
3rd and the yard, looks like he did.
Line judge 94 has got the forward progress mark, and it's a first down. This Miami Dolphin defensive line is not big. By NFL standards, not big.
No, it is not.
And when it gets to these short yardage situations or goal line situations, it's generally at a terrible disadvantage. Soche is by far the biggest. Boza, I'll bet, plays at under 250, and he's on the nose. He's a tough customer, but a 300-pound offensive lineman playing root hog, got a chance to get him out of there.
Those killer bees of yesteryear sitting in the Florida sunshine now, like Tom Howard, dump throw and a touchdown. Butch Roll, a tight end, is left uncovered. Kelly rolls out, and Butch Roll, who gets the ball thrown to him very infrequently, gets his first touchdown of the year.
That's his first catch of the year.
Hey, batting 1,000.
Set up by the run. The ability of the Buffalo Bills to run throughout this drive. Miami Miami had to respect the run. They're all totally uncovered. Kelly on the rollout, a good job of faking the handoff. That's one you draw up on the chalkboard as a coach for your players and say, this should be open. They don't even draw it up that open.
Kelly's numbers are exceptional. 8 of 9 for 83 yards and now a touchdown as the extra point is drilled up and good. A good hold by John Kidd. It was a high snap that almost got away. Norwood hits it, and now the Bills have extended their lead to 14-0.
Now here's the change in character of Buffalo. They now have a defense that can protect a 14-point lead. With the pressure from Bruce Smith, the mobility of Cornelius Bennett, Shane Conlon's up on the inside. Now opponents, even though you're down 14 points to Buffalo, it used to be you think, no problem, we're still in this game. Not anymore.
Barton from Michigan State. Butch Roll makes the touchdown reception.
You can see again the nice bow in the defensive line made by the offense. And Roll is saying, please, let me catch this one. The closest guy to him, the tuba player. And he does.
Our producer today for NBC Sports is Kenneth Edmondson. Our director, Richard Klein. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. The coordinating producer of NFL football, Ted Nathanson. As we have 5:58 to play in the first half. And in the cold, dark, dank weather of western New York in late November, the Bills fans are celebrating for the moment. But Marino's on the other side.
Drive right now by Miami could mean a chance at this game or being out of this game. So really a lot of pressure on both the Miami offense and the Bills defense.
High spinning kick that the rookie Swades will take from his 11. Free ball. Miami seems to have it.
Nobody controlled it before it went out of bounds, so it stays with Miami.
Levy has always prided himself on special teams. He was the special teams coach of that George Allen team at Washington that went to the Super Bowl to lose to the Dolphins 14-7. And they won about 4 games that year strictly on special teams big plays.
Miami in big games with inclement weather, you want good field position. Today they started from their own 15, their own 36, their own 24, and now their own 23.
And the crowd, the 12th man, making it difficult for Marino, although he can call the play with hand signals. Bradford. Not much there for that quick little runner from Boston College as he got to the 26-yard line. Troy's dad, who was a fine high school player in New Jersey, Troy's from Linden, New Jersey, and also a back with the Quantico Marines, will undergo open heart surgery this weekend. Troy wants to have his dad the very best. He's dedicating this game to him.
Stratford certainly not having the kind of game that he had last week against Dallas.
Bill's defense very tough today, and so's the footing.
Tell you what, when he goes in at halftime, he may have to change shoes. He's slipping all over the place.
Now back to NFL Live. Bob?
Don, the Colts are pouring it on against the Oilers. Hogaboom, the pump fake, lays it in brilliantly to Albert Bentley, chased by Jeff Donaldson. Might as well be Sam Donaldson. He can't catch him. It's a 72-yard touchdown. Eric Dickerson scored from 13 yards out a bit later, his second TD. Colts 21, Oilers 3.
So the Colts coming right back after that lopsided loss last week. They were blanked at New England. Marino, free ball. Dolphins have it, but Marino pays a dear price. He's down. He's getting up, though.
Cornelius Bennett.
Cornelius Bennett's unbelievable.
He came
Like
around.
a rocket.
He came around to tackle. He'll come from the left side of the screen. Bruce Smith on the inside. Look at Bennett. He beats Foster, the offensive tackle.
He's a Pro Bowl guard, too.
He beats Ronnie Lee, the offensive tackle, and Foster makes the recovery.
Well hit ball by Roby. He really unloads into the wind, and look at this punt. This might be a record setter.
Oh, the record's 98 yards by Steve O'Neill, but that might be a Reggie Roby personal record.
Certainly worthy of mention.
Yes. That is a
77-yarder.
Oh! Wow! Now that's what you call
Definitely a keeper.
a nice offensive play. He didn't appear to hit this one good. It's a very high drop. But whoa! Nuclear powered. Look, the receiver just gives up on it. Unbelievable.
Now the Dolphin defense called on. Can they get the ball back? Stop Buffalo here and give Marino and company field position as the first half is winding out.
That punt, by the way, a Miami Dolphin team record, I would hope.
We still have 3:38 to play in the second quarter. 14-0 Buffalo. This is personal punting ball. Bill's trying to get out of jail here, and they go to Mueller, the rookie, who's out close to the 5-yard line. A gain of just 2.
Well, that could be the turning point of this football game. If the Miami Dolphins can hold them here, they've got their 3 timeouts left in the first half. Hold Buffalo, keep them from getting that first down, get the ball back in the hands of the Dolphins in decent field position. That punt may be the turning point of this first half.
The Dolphins have to get in the end zone, though, and they've not been in shouting distance yet against the defense the Bills have put on the field today, playing its best football probably of the season. Straight ahead run by Mueller, and he's ahead for a first down.
So much for that, Terry. The safety, Glenn Blackwood, makes the tackle again. The defensive line is getting hammered, absolutely hammered. That time they had Doug Betters in there. John Boza comes back in, 97.
The Dolphins have won the last 5 times they've played the Bills here at Rich Stadium. But as you see, the Bills in command at the moment, 14-0 as the game ticking down to the 2-minute warning in the first half. Now Mueller loses his footing on the cutback. There was torrents of rain falling all morning. They used some process they had to try to draw it off the field as best they could. Now it's got to be a very cold field also as the temperature's dropping. Down now to 2 minutes to play in the first half. Bills scoring on a Mueller run and a Jim Kelly pass, holding to a 14-0 lead.
Mueller there, a lot of players, the fashion is now you tape them on the outside, but at times that tape underneath the bottom of the shoes can be very slippery. His are taped properly, though, right at the arch.
Second down and 10 coming out for Kelly and the Bills. They go to Harmon, who tries to weave his way into the Miami defense. Cut down short of the 20-yard line. Bring up third and about 6. Here's what offered on the tackle.
Here's what Buffalo has done today. I'm surprised that Miami is not taking some timeouts here. If they can stop them, it's now 3rd down and 6 or 7, and they're letting the clock run. Certain concession by Don Shula that the first half has not gone very well. Let's try to get into the locker room at halftime and readjust, but
they'll set him the shotgun now, and the handoff is to Harmon on 3rd down. He's going to run for a first down and plenty more as he's out to the 35-yard line. So on 3rd and long, Bills cross up the Dolphins in a deep drop in their secondary and get the run from Harmon for the first down.
And sometimes in this Buffalo shotgun, they give away the fact that they're going to run it. Let's see if we can pick up how deep it is. Now, you can't really see from here, but generally when they do this, Kelly's in front of the running back. Harmon takes it. Good personal protector out there. And Jim Richer, stiff arm at the end. Ends up being a 19-yard pickup. Tim Vogler out there in front. They own this Miami defense to this point.
1:16 to play. First half. Kelly on 1st and 10 looking for some more. Throws to an open man, Andre Reed over the middle. He turns the corner inside the 35. Races on as he's down to the 20-yard line. Knocked out of bounds at the 22 with 1:07 to go in the first half. A 42-yard gain. You remember Andre Reed caught one over the middle in an earlier drive that led to a touchdown, a 40-yard play.
Glenn Blackwood finally on the tackle. A nice crossing pattern. Kelly is getting great protection. We got him isolated all the way. Looks like man-to-man outside. Whoops. And the defensive back falls down. It's Paul Langford. And that turns Andre Reed loose in the middle of the zone where you don't want a receiver loose. 42-yard pickup. Bills on the verge of scoring again.
Kelly gets time. Loops it into the end zone. It's caught for a touchdown. It'll go. Down with the ball is Jackie Burkett. Chris Burkett. And again, the stadium erupts.
Last time these two teams played, Burkett had 9 catches for 130 yards. Donovan Rose and Mike Smith were the two defenders. They were not looking back at the football. Burkett was. Kelly put it right in the only spot Burkett could catch it.
That was about as good a throw-catch combination as you'll see. The Dolphins seem to have it surrounded, but Chris Burkett, a former basketball player at Jackson State, goes high to come down with the ball. Kelly's second touchdown throw, and the Bills extend their lead to 21-0 over favored Miami.
You think this ball club is not hot now? Remember where they got that ball after a 77-yard punt. Just over 2 minutes to go in the half, and they come out firing. Excellent pass protection. Kelly knows where he's going all the way. You see the defender's not really looking back for the football. Burkett makes just an excellent reception. His 4th touchdown. That's a 97-yard drive by Buffalo.
And Kelly Trump has been just about perfect. 10 of 11 throws for 145 yards and 2 touchdowns. Well worth the $8 million it took to sign him.
Not bad. Not bad at all. I have a feeling whenever you play Dan Marino as a quarterback, you want to show him up a little bit. Marino is the top dog in the NFL. He
sure is.
Touchdowns thrown, games won, elevates the player's performance a little bit. Jim Kelly's no exception.
And he's an emotional leader, too, Jim Kelly. Went in the locker room at halftime last week against the Jets. Told his offensive lineman, we're going to run the ball. Start blocking. Jim Kelly motivates the team, and he throws touchdowns. And right now, he has his Bills up 21-0.
See how tentative Schwades was? Didn't really fire it up in there. Wants to hang on to that football. That's the most important thing.
When Marino's got it clicking, it doesn't take long. He has 56 seconds. NFL Live coming up at halftime. Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, Paul McGuire, and Frank DeFord standing by for a review of the 11th Sunday of NFL play.
Let's see how Miami handles his pass rush, because in this final 56 seconds, there is going to be Mondo heat on Dan Marino. Look at those drives. Nothing for Miami. Nothing.
Green pass to Stratford. He's ahead for a gain of about 6 yards, even a well-conceived screen. There's a marker down in the Miami backfield. A well-executed play, didn't get much, and now comes back with a penalty as Coach Shula and his Dolphins have seen better days, a lot of them.
Holding, number 61 on the offense, still first down.
That's right on the spot where Bruce Smith has been rushing. Interesting that Buffalo's choices, their 4-man rush includes Cornelius Bennett down, and they have Bruce Smith standing up, and he knows at the outset. Another flag. This is the least penalized team in the NFL for the last 5 or 6 years. Buffalo's changing their mood a little bit here in the first half. I'm talking about Miami's mood in the first half. There you see the numbers.
Well, you lose a lot of games like Buffalo has, you get some great players. Right now, they're loaded with them. And they're all young. Bruce Smith in his 3rd year. Throwing a catch to Crash Jensen, and he's out to the 20-yard line. But it'll be way short.
Sure.
Dolphins going 1st and 20.
You'll give them the 10 or 12-yard completions. This is the prevent. Just make sure the reception is in front of you if you're a defender.
You see the numbers against Miami, down 21-0 in a game that Shula says we absolutely have to win. Miami loses this, there'll be a game out in the division with a 1-5 division record. Just 4 games to play, even though they'll be playing 3 at home.
We got a half to go, and we may be a little premature, but Buffalo could wipe away. You see the division record, they'd be 3-3 if they win, but they could wipe away, what, 21 years? 21 years of bad memories, never sweeping Miami. 1966, the last time it happened.
To the George Wilson Dolphins. This time Miami blocks well, and Marino makes the connection, but not deep enough as the zone was way back. Third down play is short, and the Bills call timeout. They want to get it back.
You hear so many times fans say the prevent defense does not work. So far, Buffalo's execution of the prevent defense in this instance working perfectly.
Interesting role reversal here. You remember, Trump, in that first meeting between these two teams October 25th, it was Miami that led 21-0. Bills rallying in the second half to catch him and then win in overtime.
Well, they're going after this punt. That's the only reason they take the timeout.
Where are they? They came close.
Let it bounce, let it roll. We had flashed on the screen there yards for each team in this first half. You wonder why the score is 21-0. The yards for each team pretty much tells the story as the half ends.
So Reggie Roby had a heck of a first half, but not the Dolphins. Interesting. First time they've gone to the locker room without points. 21-0. Cornelius Bennett has been a big part of Buffalo's game today. NFL Live is coming up in a moment. We'll be back after these messages from your local station.
Sundays at midnight on Channel 3.
We welcome those of you watching the game in Buffalo. Bob Costas along with Ahmad Rashad and Paul McGuire. Elsewhere, Indianapolis is beating Houston at the Hoosier Dome 21-10. And it's been a big first half for Eric Dickerson. He's carried 9 times for 53 yards. Last week, Jerry Glanville's team was clobbered at home by the Browns. And this week, they trail by 11 near the half. Here is Dickerson, a 19-yard carry for the game's first touchdown. He breaks Jeff Donaldson's attempted tackle and goes in. He had 35 yards rushing on that first Colt drive. So they were in front 7-0. Now watch this play as Hogaboom backpedals and hits Albert Bentley, lofting it over the defense perfectly, and Bentley outruns 2 defenders to the end zone to cap a 72-yard play. So both running backs contributed. A bit later, Alan Pinkett fumbled on a kickoff. In fact, it was the kickoff right after the Bentley touchdown, and the Colts recovered, and Eric Dickerson scored from 13 yards out. So he has 2 touchdowns in the first half. Warren Moon came back and hit Drew Hill with a 7-yarder to get the Oilers a bit closer at 21-10. You remember the last time the Bears and Packers met, Green Bay nearly upset them. Kevin Butler hit the field goal of around 50 yards to win it on the game's final play for the Bears. Well, at Soldier Field today, the Packers are hanging tough in front near halftime by a score of 10-7. Brent Fullwood, the Pack's first draft choice, has a 1-yard run for a TD in the first quarter, set up by a 66-yard catch and run from Walter Stanley. Now the Bears have just hit a field goal. Kevin Butler just connected. They go even at 10-10. Earlier, Jim McMahon had thrown a 20-yard touchdown pass to Neil Anderson. The Bills and the Dolphins, 21-0 in favor of Buffalo. Miami, you'll recall, led the Bills by that same score in their earlier meeting down at Joe Robbie Stadium, and Buffalo came back to win that one in overtime. Kelly, 10 for 11 for 2 touchdowns in the first half. Ronnie Harmon, 98 yards rushing for Buffalo. Troy Stratford held to 19 on the ground for Miami. The Eagles are playing the Patriots in Foxborough. Philadelphia leads in this one 17-10. Randall Cunningham has thrown a 61-yarder to Mike Quick, and he's run a yard for a touchdown as well. Pittsburgh and New Orleans at Three Rivers Stadium, and the Steelers, kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team. You never know what kind of performance you're going to get from them. Their defense is doing a good job today. Dwayne Woodruff has a 32-yard interception return for a touchdown. Walter Abercrombie, a 5-yard scoring run, a 14-3 lead over the Saints. The Jets at the Meadowlands against Cincinnati just before halftime, 17-7 the score there. The Jets are in front. Johnny Hector has a 1-yard scoring run. Well, let's take a look at some of the highlights. Freeman McNeil held to 20 yards rushing in 15 carries, but he's caught 6 passes for 81 yards, including this one over the middle from O'Brien. He makes a nice little stutter step, and then he'll beat 2 defenders to the corner, diving for the flag for the touchdown, and the Jets led 7-0 at that point. After a Leahy field goal made it 10-zip, Boomer Esiason rolls left off a deep drop, and he launches this one into the end zone for Eddie Brown, a 17-yard TD. Then, after O'Brien threw a 50-yarder to Al Toon to set it up, Johnny Hector up and over, vaulting for the touchdown, and a 17-7 Jet lead at this point. The Jets now have their lead trimmed to 17-10 as Jim Breach, while we were looking at those highlights, Jim Breach connected for a Cincinnati field goal, so they are within 7. The Cardinals are getting an extraordinary first-half performance from Neil Lomax. At this point, he's connected 16 times in 25 tries for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns, a 49-yarder to Troy Johnson among them. Rob Awald also caught a 25-yarder, and the Cardinals lead Atlanta 24-14. Back after this from your local stations.
First drive of the second half since Buffalo kicks off, Miami receives the ball. I think I'm understating it to call it crucial, because Don Shula's already stated this game is crucial. The loss here, the Dolphins are 1-5 in the division, 5-6.
He said we won't go to the playoffs if we lose today. He said that matter-of-factly to his team. And the arithmetic, while it doesn't count them out, certainly mitigates against them. They'd be a game back and 1-5 in the division with just 4 to play.
Well, they've got 30 minutes to make or break this season.
Well, you give Marino 10 minutes down 21-0 or less than that to get them the ball.
But it's not just Marino. Clayton and Duper have no catches.
Right, shut out. This kickoff is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, as Norwood hits a high short spinner. Ball taken by Lorenzo Hampton. Here's a penalty marker down as Lorenzo Hampton goes down at the 22-yard line of Miami.
Yeah, they'll start half the distance to the goal. That's an illegal block. So instead of the 21, they go back to the 11 or thereabouts. On that 97-yard drive by Buffalo to score at the end of the half.
Illegal block, number 52 on the receivers. First down at 10.
97-yard drive to score at the end of the first half. Now puts this Buffalo football team hanging from the rafters.
That was the 3rd touchdown, a 97-yard drive. The Bills across their defensive front. Sean McNanny, 95. Fred Smirler, 76. And the super force at right end, 78, Bruce Smith. Cornelius Bennett, Scott Radisick, Shane Conlon, and Darryl Talley back the line. As Marino dumps it off, Bradford making a big play, gets the ball, and a first down for the Dolphins. Shane Conlon, the rookie from Penn State, 8th player picked in the last draft, runs him down, but he does it 14 yards downfield.
Looks like Stratford changed shoes. Conlon's got the man-to-man coverage. Don, this is the same play they started the game with, only the pass went to Ron Davenport, not Troy Stratford. First down, Miami.
Dan Marino's first start in the National Football League came 5 years ago against Buffalo. Now he's going to really have to air it out all second half. Down 21-0, but they go back to the run, looking for Buffalo to play pass rush. Bradford carries, and Radisick, who you remember had the interception in the second quarter, makes the tackle.
It looks to me like Troy Stratford has changed shoes. He's looking for a little better footing. He was spatted up in the first half. That is tape on the outside of his shoes. Now the tape is off. Let's see if his footing is any better.
Marino came into the game, sacked only 6 times. He's been topped a number of times.
Buffalo showing blitz, Don.
Now they pull off, go with a 3-man rush, and it's coming hard. Marino gets it away, but behind his receiver. Incomplete at the 32-yard line. On a second down and 9 play, it brings up 3rd and long.
That was intended for Clayton, and Dwight Drain was right there. Ball thrown behind Clayton. Very uncharacteristic offense of the Dolphins today.
Miami pass blockers, Trump, have now started to just try to ride Bruce Smith wide. They can't hold him out. He comes like a freight train. They ran him by Marino that time. Looked like he was going to get him. Smith, 78.
Miami just 1 of 5 in 3rd down conversions. Came into the game as the league's best in that stat.
Picked up by the free safety, Mark Kelso. A free agent out of William and Mary, and so Marino's opening drive of the second half ends in an interception.
Pressure again. You could see Marino not follow through on that. It was intended for Mark Clayton. Good zone coverage. Now watch Marino when he finishes his pass. He can feel the pressure. Well, he kind of goes out of the screen, but it's a two-deep zone. Just overthrows the receiver because he can't really step through it. And the second turnover by Miami today.
So the Bills start at the Miami 40, and if they haven't already, they could put the knockout punch on by taking it in here. Harmon running for some. Miami does a good job throwing it back. Dan Marino came into the game with 18 touchdown throws and just 6 interceptions this season. Today he has no touchdown throws. He's been intercepted twice. Offerdahl made the stop for Miami.
He's on the way to his worst day of the season by far.
Harmon's on his way to his best crump. He's over 100 yards and 17 carries.
17 for 101, career best.
Harmon is the I-back. Second down and 7. Buffalo forward wall. The white shirts pushed back at the snap of the ball. Straight ahead zone blocking, just blasting anybody in front of them and pushing them back.
They are running right at T.J. Turner. That pretty much gives you an indication of why it's 21-0 Buffalo. Buffalo's choice, run to the right. That's right at T.J. Turner. Third down and short.
Jamie Mueller, the rookie up back. Good blocker, and he leads the way for Harmon again. And Mueller gets it himself, and he takes it for the first down. He's down to the 25-yard line.
That's the vulnerable spot in this Miami defense. Apparently on film, Jim Ringo, the offensive line coach of Buffalo, says we can beat these guys right here. So the matchup all day has been Vogler, Devlin against T.J. Turner and Bob Brzezinski, and that combination is lost. That's where they're coming, and those guys know it.
Harmon back in as the I-back now. On first down and 10 for the Bills, who lead here in the third quarter, 21-0. Harmon caught and dropped. Gain of about 2. He's down to the 22-yard line. Mark Brown, outside linebacker from Purdue, made the stop. He's been Miami's best linebacker this season.
Same play to the other side. I mean, this is almost like practice. Let's keep repeating this play, fellas, until we get it right. They run Metzelar's in motion. Let's see if we can pick up where they're going to run.
And it's been right a lot.
Let's watch and see if the tight end comes off the line of scrimmage and comes in motion. He's at the far side. It looks like he's going to stay there.
Harmon knocked down. Good defensive play. John Boza, the rookie #1 draft choice for the Dolphins out of Boston College, made the play, slipped the block, and third down and long comes up.
Now Ricky Porter, 26, comes in. 86, Tremaine Johnson comes in.
Rain has stopped now, but it's a cold, damp day in western New York. Winds have died down. Field is cold and wet. Kelly, third down and actually a long 6, almost 7. Setting in the shotgun. Here's a blitz. They pick it up. He throws, makes the catch. The ball is dropped. The 9-yard line. Ricky Porter wide open, and Kelly right on his hands. But he ran before he had it, and so now the Bills send out their field goal unit.
This was an out and up, but no one covered Ricky Porter from the outset. You see him coming from the right. There's a nice little pick, and when he throws it out there, I think Porter's surprised that there's no coverage. Judson was the closest man. Incomplete field goal attempt.
Norwood is 6 of 10. He's 3 of 4, 40-plus this year. To be a 38-yarder. Wind not a factor at this point. It was gusting earlier. Brings it up. He's got enough, and it's through, and the Bills have more. They move out now to a 24-0 lead on Norwood's first field goal of the day. Officially, it's a 39-yarder, and he'll kick it off when we come back.
Today's game is brought to you by Mazda, bringing performance and value together. That's the Mazda way. By RCA, the most trusted name in electronics. And by Minolta and their Freedom cameras. For picture-taking freedom, leave it to the mind of Minolta.
Norwood, who just hit a 39-yard field goal, and now the Bills with 4 scores in their last 4 possessions.
I've never seen a Miami football team so dominated.
Touchdown, 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 field goal. 24-0 Bills. Short kickoff, fielded by Dan Johnson, a tight end. Fumble, out of bounds. It'll be Miami. So the Dolphins keep it. Steve Tasker, a special teams wizard, came down and made that stick on Big Dan Johnson.
You can see Lorenzo Hampton, 27, almost there to make the reception, but Tasker makes the hit. The ball is loose, and because no one can control the ball before it gets out of bounds, it remains Miami's football.
Indianapolis very much in command. But New England in trouble. Looks like they'll drop a game behind in the AFC East. Jets now, Cincinnati getting closer, 17-10 in the third quarter. The Dolphins again with the long field to go, 78 yards from the Buffalo end zone. First down throw, nicely caught by Ron Davenport, who breaks the tackle, and he's ahead for a Dolphin first down out to the 34-yard line.
Davenport there as the personal protector for Dan Marino out of the shotgun. When he noticed that no linebackers were blitzing, that means he's then free to release. And great coverage by Miami. The wide receivers, Clayton and Duper, still shut out. Marino has to throw it to the fullback.
9:22 to play, third quarter. Dolphins trailing the Bills 24-0. Marino on first down. Little high. Johnson can't hold it. Second and 10 for Dan Marino and the Dolphins.
Not well thrown. 8 of 19, 96 yards. This from a guy who, for his career, has averaged 272 yards passing a game. Fred Smerlis almost got his hands on the ball. A little stunt up front.
Lewis comes wide right. He's in the slot, going in motion 82. Duper is wide right. Go to the run. Bradford trying to pick a hole, but there's none there as the rookie cornerback Nate Odom comes up and gets him. Bill's defense being saluted play after play as this game wears on.
This is certainly the biggest indicator of the lack of success today for Miami. This is going to be third down and 10. They are 1 of 6 in third down conversions. Buffalo 5 of 8. Nothing Miami has tried has worked for very long today.
Bills trying to exercise a lot of demons. They've only beaten Miami 4 times in the last 18 years, and they play twice a year. Miami's won the last 5 here in Buffalo. Dolphins are the winningest team in the NFL in the 1980s. Almost 68%.
Smerlis jumped off sides, and the offensive guard came out of his stance. He has seen better days out of this ball club.
And he'll see good ones. Two teams aren't allowed a year off.
Watch the left side. It's Roy Foster who jumps.
Marv Levy, the Buffalo coach, telling us yesterday that in the regular games, the 7 regular games, when we've run 30 or more times, we've won 4 times. 3 games we didn't win 30 or more, we lost. Marino and the Dolphins, their troubles mounting in the cold at Buffalo.
That ball skidded back there. Very uncharacteristic of Dwight Stevenson, probably the game's best center. It's not like this Miami team to come apart at the seams. All right, you can see he's talking to Dwight Stevenson right there. John Sandusky, the offensive line coach. That's very unusual. Marino tries to get up and make a plus out of it, but Sean McNanny there, I think they'll rule that a sack. I'm not sure.
Ron Pitts is back. Look at Reggie Roby. Averaging over 50 a punt, hitting at 77 yards. Long, but it'll come back. It's low as a blocker in front of Pitts. And he is out to the ears. A free ball on the field, and there's a pursuit of it by a Dolphin and a Bill. Looks like Derek Burrows came up with it for Buffalo. So the Bills keep it back inside their 40. A 36-yard punt, 7-yard return. Don Cookie with Bob Trumpy back at Red Stadium. Official ruling Trump on that last play was not a sack. It's ruled an aborted play because of the bad snap. Marino's been sacked only once today, that by Cornelius Bennett, but he's been feeling the heat all day long.
To say the least. Look at these drives by Miami today. 2 interceptions. Both led to scores. The 97-yard drive led to a score, and the field goal. Total domination by Buffalo.
Pitch back. Harmon breaks it. Penalty marker comes in.
Not if there's been one thing that has gotten Miami in this mess, even with the flag, it's been the inability of their defense to stop the run. That's what got that. Initially, Buffalo ran up and down the field, and that's what's really cost Miami any field position or any chance of sustained drives. I think the call is on Pete Metzelaars, the tight end.
It's also got Miami in this predicament. Buffalo's offensive line has dominated totally Miami's defensive front. Buffalo's defensive line has blown through Miami's offensive front. Just shut them out.
The 2 worst things that could happen in a football game. You can't control the foot on the other side of the football. Known in the CFL.
In the first meeting this season, it was the Bills who trailed 21-0 and came back to win in overtime. Now Miami must first get in the scoreboard at least once to get it started. Bradford on first down is knocked down for a loss of about 5 yards. Leon Seals, another standout rookie, made the stop.
That play made possible by Bruce Smith, the defensive end, took the outside rush and basically took the sweep away. Watch when Stratford stops, Bruce Smith is out there in front of those 2 offensive linemen. He's got to cut back. I think Radisic makes the tackle
had the first
along
hit.
with Cornelius Bennett. Smith is playing a whale of a game today.
Every day this year he's played, he's been a standout. Bill's ready to tee off now. Here's Tin back, and they'll come a humming with 2nd and 14 coming up. Smith held off with a double-team block, and Marino gets it off to Davenport, but only for a short gain out to the 46-yard line. Shane Conlon on the tackle.
Dolphins pretty much in a situation where they've got to go with not their hurry-up offense, but their 2-minute offense, taking their time to get it down the field to try to get back in the ball game.
Your old club Trump, the Bengals have now rallied to tie the Jets.
That's a team that Cincinnati does not play well. Freeman McNeil has eaten that ball club alive over the years.
Except for last season. Miami beat them 55-21, and Cincinnati beat the Jets. Third down, about 6 for Marino and the Dolphins. Throwing a catch. Jensen has the ball, but he's knocked down. Let's see if he got the spot. He had to make it just inside the Buffalo 40.
He doesn't have enough.
No, he's not there, but they've got to go for it.
Sure. You can see how out of sync this offense has been all day. The Jensen, a veteran, doesn't get the 7 yards needed to convert the third down.
Yeah, dominant Shula teams have been against the Bills. The Bills were 0 for the 70s against Miami. Miami beat them every time they played in the 1970s over a 10-year period.
It's going to be interesting to see Miami's choice here. Do you run it through Smith? That's left side. Do you run it Cornelius Bennett? That's right side.
Bennett's a down lineman. Pitch back. They run away from Bennett. And Stratford pays as Shane Conlon rockets in. Going for it on fourth down. The Miami Dolphins don't get there. Bruce Smith is having a day. You got to keep playing.
Nothing wrong with celebrating, but one thing he's got to remember, the guys in the white shirts vote for him for All-Pro. You don't want to rub it in. Make your big plays, go to the sideline, high-five all you want, but don't embarrass your opponent on the field. They'll get you at the end of the season.
Very interesting point. We'll be back in a moment. Phil Villapiano, who was a very important part of the Bills' last divisional championship team 7 years ago. They won the division in 1980. In the stands up and lead the cheers. And today, a rare day when the Bills are in command of the Dolphins. 24-0, third quarter, late in it. Harmon runs as the Bills look to run the clock. It's down to 1:13 to play in the third quarter.
Does that play look familiar? I'll bet when they do the game films, they will have run that play 20 times today. There's the Dolphin bench. Those players with the encouragement of Don Shula before the game this entire week, knowing the situation they were in that they had to win, have to be very, very disappointed in their performance today. Totally dominated by Buffalo, and you can take nothing away from the Bills.
Now, they've had a day. They've done it all right. 2 weeks in a row now. Beat the Jets and the Meadowlands of New Jersey last week. Here's Harmon. He's not going to get there. John Boza sheds the block and makes the knockdown. Now, while we have a moment, back to NFL Live. Here's Bob.
Well, Don, the Bengals are right back in it at the Meadowlands, tied at 17. Here's Esiason off the fake. Takes a while to find a receiver and finally drills it right through there. The 3-yard touchdown pass ties it up at 17, the Bengals and the Jets.
Bad year for the Bengals, but they're not quitting.
Standing ovation here in Orchard Park, New York.
Third quarter winds out. At the end of the third quarter, it's Buffalo 24, Miami nothing. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. The Buffalo Bills have been on the short end of a lot of lopsided scores when they played Miami. This is total domination, though. That's the catch-all phrase you've used correctly.
Yeah, I hate to keep repeating myself, but today, basically, the Buffalo Bills took the Miami Dolphins to the woodshed, whooped up on them, and they got a quarter yet to go. I don't think they're done.
Kelly stands in, throwing a catch. That was a tough one to connect on. Now did Harmon lose the ball? They rule he did. Don McNeil was defending. So the Bills have to punt as we check the numbers through 3 quarters.
Pretty impressive. 25 yards rushing by Miami. Time of possession.
Most significant numbers, Trump, would have to be that Marino only has 113 yards passing, and the Bills have 162 yards rushing.
Yes. Any way you look at it.
Tremendous hit downfield by the punter, John Kidd. Brady's lets it roll, and it'll be down inside the 5. It's the net kind of a day.
Look at this.
Steve Tasker, who distinguishes himself on special teams out of Northwestern, makes the play on a 52-yard punt, and as you see, no return.
Well, it's about the time that you put in some guys to earn their letter. I'm just going to ask the guys down in the truck for a question. This might be very interesting. I'd like to know how the deepest penetration that Miami has made today against the Buffalo Bills. Well, take your time getting it. That shows more of the domination, the problem that Miami has had.
Dolphins have not even tried a field goal in this game. Marino with a throw and a catch over the middle. Beautifully done, and Clayton's running in the open field now as he crosses the 25-yard line. Gets out of bounds at the 27. So the Dolphins open up the Bills' zone defense, and Clayton running free in the middle catches a well-thrown ball by Marino.
Looked like Cornelius Bennett was the man in coverage. This is the part of the game that's going to take a while for Bennett to pick up. He turns him loose in the middle of the zone, and you're going to see Buffalo in zone, deep zone for the rest of the day. They'll give up these receptions. They don't believe in one quarter Miami can score 24 points or more.
Bennett weighs 235, and Clayton's one of the few people out there that's faster than he is. And not by much.
intended for Bruce Hardy, overthrown by Dan Marino.
Indianapolis laying waste to Houston in the third quarter. Colts go into Cleveland next week.
That Chicago-Green Bay game, a lot closer than I thought it would be.
Butler broke the tie with a field goal for the Bears. New England now still trailing in the fourth quarter against the Eagles.
And I notice Buffalo has their backup defensive line in. Mesner, Seals, and Prater are now playing.
Marino on 2nd and 10. Free ball, almost intercepted. It caromed off the shoulder pads of the free safety, Mark Kelso.
Look at this. Miami's deepest penetration today, the Buffalo 37.
NBC statistician Elliot Cowell totaling the arithmetic, and it's been pencil's been working just on one side of the sheet today.
Yes, sir, and that's very unusual when you have a Miami Dolphin team in it. Look at there. That is absolutely remarkable.
The crowd isn't letting up, just like the Bills' defense. 3rd and 10 for Dan Marino. Time, open man, a throw and a catch to James Pruitt out to the 47-yard line. Marino with that whip arm, tight spiral, gun to the head for a 19-yard gain.
Marino, for the first time, getting time to throw the football to look down the field. His number is getting better, but still not even close to what we normally see out of Dan Marino.
Scheduling club, as you know, is with the Dolphins the rest of the way, but it might be too late. 3 of their last 4 at home. Bills are on the road for 3 of their last 4. They play the Raiders in California next week, then go into Indianapolis. Bradford again with difficulty making the turn on the wet field. Leon Seals helped him down.
Radisick also their assist on the tackle. He's had trouble with his footing all day long. Let's see what can happen. See what happened. He gets up limping. When he tries to plant, the foot just slips out from underneath him. That's Radisick on top. For some reason, it always happens in games like this. The team behind seems to slip more than the team ahead, doesn't it? Right. Footing has not been a problem for the Bills. Bradford's going off.
The Bills spent big in the recent years, and it shows now on the field. Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Buffalo Bills, says the next time somebody calls me cheap, I want to show them my payroll. $8 million for Kelly for 5 years. Bruce Smith, boxcar numbers. Shane Tomlin, a multi-million-dollar deal. Cornelius Bennett, $4 million for 5 years, including a $2 million signing bonus. They also packed the building. There's about 80,000 here today. Intercepted. Marino short. Derek Burrows picks it off, and he's wide open. Layton tries to get him, and finally Derek Burrows elects to take the 12th man and hops out of bounds.
3rd interception of the day for Buffalo. That ball very poorly thrown by Dan Marino. I don't believe it has anything to do with the weather either. Miami used to playing in rain. Rains almost every day in Miami, but it looks like he's trying to get it to Duper. Look how underthrown that ball is.
We'll be back with Kelly on offense after this.
Today's game is brought to you by Coors, the beer with a difference worth tasting. Coors is the one. By Apple Computer, giving you the power to be your best in home, school, and business. And by Norelco Electric Razors for a close and comfortable shave.
.45 to play in the game. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. Dolphins on defense as they've been most of the day. Stratford now being attended to.
Last week he had 169 yards rushing. Look what happened to him today.
Kelly wants more. Over the middle he goes to an open tight end. Metzlars is out to the 50-yard line. A gain of 14 yards and a Buffalo first down. Lifford Hobley finally got him. Kelly's been well protected. Anybody this good that gets time going to laser you up.
And if you add the running game that Buffalo has had today, every part of your offense is working. Looks like Miami's going with the they got somebody else in there at nose tackle. I see Doug Betters at end. I'll pick up who the nose tackle is here in a minute.
Straight ahead run by Ricky Porter. Not much there on first down, but the Bills now content to run the clock with 11:50 to go in the game, and their lead still at 24-0.
Brian Sauché is now to the ball game, and Jackie Klein is now playing nose tackle, it looks like. Doug Better is also playing defensive end.
You pointed out, Trump, earlier the size differential, and that's been enormous. Miami's defensive front is not big.
No, they're made better to play down in that heat and humidity in Miami. Lean, can go forever, but when it comes to straight ahead pounding, they have trouble.
Second and 6 coming up for Kelly and the Bills. Porter, open field. He's down to the Miami 35-yard line. He has a first down for Buffalo, an 11-yard run. Harmon's done his job. They're going to the backup now at the I-back to run it.
Donovan Rose finally on the tackle, but again, this running game from the initial drive has really hurt. There's the center, Ken Hall, on the nose tackle. You see the push. Devlin does a great job. The Miami defense allowing 149 yards rushing per game coming into today. Ronnie Harmon well over 100 yards rushing, 177 to 23.
Back to Porter they go. Straight to the Dolphins inside the 35-yard line. Bears now up by 10. Philadelphia still over New England. Jets and Cincinnati still tied. The Jets are tied. The Patriots are losing. The Dolphins are losing. The Colts are winning big. Depending on what the Jets do, there could be a 2- or 3-way tie for first, which is unusual in this division where everybody's tied usually for first and last. 5 teams, all 5 and 5 starting the day. 5 games to play.
That one kind of went awry on Jim Kelly. Kind of slipped out of his hand a little bit. The officials do a great job on wet days of keeping that ball dry as best they can. That one seemed to slip. He hasn't missed many, has he? A couple of drops. That one slipping out of his hand. He's had one of those days.
One very significant factor also is the fact the Bills have not turned the ball over in this game. Marino's been intercepted 3 times. Kelly on the run. He'll be looking to slide in a minute. Inside the 20, Jim Kelly has the first down. As you're probably aware, when a player slides, any offensive player in possession of the ball, he immediately clears himself down, and it's illegal to hit him. Feet first only. If you go head first, they'll pop you.
Kelly, even though he wears number 12, has the makeup of a linebacker. I'm sure Ted Marchibroda, the quarterback coach, and Marv Levy have encouraged him to slide like that. He'd prefer going head first. I mean, you want somebody extra on the goal line, he'd volunteer.
Well, Paterno recruited him as a linebacker. Thought he was one of the best linebacker prospects in the country. He went to University of Miami because they told me he'd play quarterback. He got rich doing it. Hit back. Goes to Porter, and he's down to the 20-yard line on a first down play.
John Offerdahl on the tackle.
He's made a lot.
Not enough. There have been a great many more tackles made by the safeties today for Buffalo, and that's really been the problem.
I'll tell you one place, Trump, that Dan Marino, that's some counsel from Shula, that Jim Kelly will be on the night of January 1st, 1988, if the Bills aren't involved in an AFC wildcard playoff game that weekend, is at the Orange Bowl. To root on the Hurricanes, he'll be on the sideline. If Miami goes against Oklahoma in all probability for the national championship. Over the middle throw, it's a drop ball inside the 7-yard line. You can't put it any more in a guy's hands, but great competitors, they want to get it all.
Jamie Mueller couldn't quite hang on to it. By the way, unofficially, John Offerdahl now 9 tackles.
Orange Bowl to be something again this year. That committee down there with one objective, and that's to showcase their city with the best college football matchup possible, and they've hit the mark again this year. Oklahoma going in #1. Miami now #2, a very strong #2 after the rout of Notre Dame. But the Gamecocks of South Carolina have to be faced before there's an unbeaten season going into the bowl. Here's the throw downfield, and with the ball is Chris Burkett. He's to the 10-yard line.
This team has just become so much more aggressive. You see Burkett put his head down and fire between those two guys. They're going to go for the field goal. But a running game gives you that attitude on a particular day. It makes you psychologically tougher. You'll put your head in spots where you wouldn't on other days.
A young-looking gentleman, John Kidd, out to Scott Norwood out. John Kidd, the holder. Norwood's out of James Madison. He's good. Again. And it's 27-0. The beat goes on in Buffalo. All the Bills fans are sickened, but those Dolphins fans, let's go back to Miami.
They've seen enough. Not even Dan Marino can come up with 27 points with 7:56 to go. But your point about Buffalo, spectacular. Nobody's leaving. They want to enjoy every second of this.
And a very significant streak, Trump. Looks like it might come to an end today.
Yeah, Danny Marino had 30 consecutive games in which he threw for a touchdown. It's in jeopardy, and it looks like Don Strock is coming in at quarterback. So his Dan Marino streak will stop at 30. The all-time leader is Johnny Unitas with 47.
More importantly, it was a game that Shula said we have to win to be in the playoff chase. Short kickoff. Lorenzo Hampton runs it back and breaks free for the moment, then gets out to the 33-yard line.
There's Strock, Dan Marino's personal guru. See what Don Strock can do for Miami in his final 7:46. Not a lot of action.
Strock's been doing it for a long time. 14th year from Virginia Tech. And he's still very good.
There it is. Dave Craig's streak stopped, I believe, week before last.
That's right. Strock goes right into the shotgun and falling back and firing on first down. He makes the connection now. Clayton loses the ball at about the 43-yard line. Next week, a doubleheader day on NBC Sports. The Colts, currently beating Houston soundly, go into Cleveland, and that's about as tough a place to go the way that Brown team is playing now. Go down there between divisional leaders. San Diego plays at Houston. Doubleheader game. The Patriots head out to Denver. Patriots having a problem today with the Eagles at Foxborough, Matt. And the Bills go out to take on the Raiders at the L.A. Coliseum. Marker down as Strock throws. Down with the ball is Lorenzo Hampton. He has a first down if the play goes. But it might come back.
It's against Buffalo. Play will stand.
Lined up in the neutral zone, number 78 on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
Ends up being a 13-yard pickup by Lorenzo Hampton. Also stops the clock.
With 7:30 to go, it stops the clock. 27-0 is the count. Buffalo's in the lead. Bills have dominated throughout. Scoreless first quarter. They scored 21 points in the second quarter to put the game away. Cooper had it and lost it as he turned and started to run. White Rain was defending, and that brings up 2nd down and 10 for Don Strock and the Dolphins at the Buffalo 45.
In a conversation I had with Walt Torrey, the defensive coordinator of Buffalo, a couple of days ago on the phone, I said, how do you stop Marino? He said, hope for a blizzard. That's about the only way. But today, great pressure up front and also excellent coverage. There have not been a lot of receivers open downfield for Marino to hit. He won't have many days like this.
Brock with the back pedal, throws it up to Jim Jensen, and he's to the 39-yard line. On a 2nd down and 10 play, they got about 6, maybe 7.
Jensen wears 11. That's the quarterback's number.
He's everything.
He's listed as a backup tight end, a backup wide receiver, and plays running back.
Was the quarterback at Boston University. Jensen again on 3rd down and about 5, and he'll be knocked down short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th and about 1.5 yards. Shane Conlon made a hard strike. New Orleans has now rallied in the 4th quarter at Pittsburgh to lead the Steelers. Cincinnati holding to a 3-point lead over the favored Jets. Cardinals in command at Atlanta.
4th down and about 1 yard. Through it.
Got a 1st down for the Dolphins, James Pruitt. Miami goes home to Joe Robbie Stadium. Next time out will be against the Jets. Bills head to L.A. to play the Raiders.
Very seldom in the coaching history of Don Shula have you seen a team perform like this. Would you agree, Don?
Just be completely dominated like this.
Yes.
The Bills might do this to a lot of teams before the season's over.
Well, even though Miami has played against teams in some situations where I think the other team was clearly better, and Shula's coach team generally is in there. They make something happen. And today, this is their deepest penetration. They're now at the Buffalo 31.
Marv Levy waiting for that clock to run out. He knows what can happen against Miami. It's happened to Buffalo too many times, but not today. 27-0 with 6 minutes to go.
The second half of Marv Levy seemed like it was a week long, I'm sure.
So, and a catch down to the 24-yard line. If the Dolphins don't score on this drive, we'll be switching much of our network to that very tight Cincinnati Jets game now in the 4th quarter. Those of you watching on the Bills network and also in Florida will stay with the Dolphins and the Bills. Don Strock trying to rally the Dolphins, not wanting to risk Marino to be injured on a day when it has not been the Dolphins' day. He's out of the game. Hampton, third footstep, another short on the ball.
Cornelius Bennett tipped that ball, and Lorenzo Hampton couldn't make the catch. Watch again, 55 drops back in total zone coverage. Should be coming from your left. As Strock throws his ball, there's Bennett showing his leaping ability at 235, and that probably saved the touchdown.
Hampton right in the jaws of that defense. He would have paid if he caught it. It would have been close. 4th down again for Miami. Bills bring 8 people up on the line, but rush 4. One man blitzing. Here's a throw, and a tip ball is incomplete. And Buffalo takes over. As the celebration continues, the executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. The coordinating producer of NFL football, Ted Nathanson. The director of today's game, Kenneth Edmondson. The producer, Richard Klein. Associate director, Ross Schneiderman. With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Crickey back at Rich Stadium, where the sun is setting on a now cold November day in Buffalo. This will be the first time since 1983 that the Bill regulars have won 2 games in a row.
You won't see many performances on the Miami Dolphins or Dan Marino like we've seen today.
Bills running the ball, and the Dolphins getting set for a long ride back to Miami. 5:14 to play.
We have the responsibility of picking the most valuable player of today's game.
There's a few.
Yeah, we may need a 900 number to figure this one out. Kelly, 15 of 21, 217, 2 touchdowns. Ronnie Harmon, 23 carries, 120 yards.
There's a goodly sized gentleman I'd like on my team.
Yeah. Andre Reed, 4 catches, 96 yards, and yet I think the defense was the part of the Buffalo Bills that absolutely sealed the Miami Dolphins' fate.
Emily Knocker comes in. Could be a hold on the Bills as they go to the run again. Running it hard is Ricky Porter. Hugh Green made the stop with 4:37 to play in the game. It's been over, though, for a long time.
Can't overlook the offensive line. They did an absolutely superlative job for Buffalo. This is a tough choice.
Holding, number 59 on the offense. It's still second down.
Mitch Farrat, a rookie, called for the hold. Big day for Marv Levy as coach of the Bills. This team really looking like one of the best clubs in the league today. Joe Devlin, the 11-year offensive tackle, said of Levy, he's a player's coach. He's a builder, not a knocker. Generates a very positive spirit in the team. That's been a big difference with a lot of these younger players.
I think he's the only coach in the NFL who was a Phi Beta Kappa from Coe College.
He also has a master's degree from Harvard
In,
I believe, history.
is that right?
You can't quite get one of those. Out to the 23-yard line.
Come on, Crick, help me here. Who's the most valuable player? It's somebody in a blue jersey and a red helmet. We know that.
I think it's either Kelly or Bennett.
Kelly or Bennett?
And if it's not either of them, it's Bruce Smith or Ronnie Harmon.
Yeah, well, you've certainly narrowed it down, made the choice a lot easier.
Of course, all 5 offensive linemen are going to get game ball.
Oh, absolutely. They've been... this is difficult. This is...
Somebody is our most valuable player. We got the Bennett there, a little bit like the Boz. Porter running upfield. Whacked out of bounds as he gets to the 37-yard line, but he gets a first down for the Bills.
The people in this stadium do not want to leave.
They haven't seen this very often. And a lot of lean years in Buffalo, just as there's been a lot of glory years in Miami.
I don't know that there's any place in this country that when the team is successful, there's more support for it than Buffalo. When they win here, this place is bananas.
Last divisional title was 80. The last time before that they went to the playoffs was when O.J. was running wild back in '73 when he set the record that has since been broken by Eric Dickerson. O.J. rushed for 2003. Getting colder on the Miami bench. Porter on a first down run gets to the 42-yard line. To give you an idea how dominant Shula and the Dolphins have been in this division, this is his 17th year. In his previous 17 years in Miami, they've won or shared the division title 13 times.
Not this year. They're now 1-5 in the division. Buffalo is 3-3. Indianapolis will be 6-2, I believe, right? Or is it 5-2? They have the best record.
Indianapolis will be 6-2.
6-2. Yeah, they have the best division record.
But the Colts lost their starting quarterback today. We don't know for how long. Hogaboom going out with apparently a separated shoulder. Dislocated shoulder.
Yes.
You've had both. Which is worse?
Separated.
Neither is a good deal.
No. Dislocated, when they put it back in, feels a little better. Separated, takes weeks for it to get better. I slept sitting up for 10 days with a separated shoulder one time. I could not lie on my back. At least with a dislocated shoulder, once they put it in, it hurt. But it felt a lot better. Believe me, it felt a lot better.
Holding during the run, number 39 on the offense. Still second down.
Come on, Crick, who's the most valuable player here?
I honestly can't pick one. I would say Kelly, Harmon, Bruce Smith, Cornelius Bennett.
Let's go this way, see if you agree with me. Let's take Ronnie Harmon. He had 120 yards rushing, and that also gives a lot of credit to the offensive line. So let's go Ronnie Harmon as our Budweiser most valuable player.
Yeah, he had a career day. The Bills don't average 120 yards rushing, at least haven't so far this season. Second and 12, back to the run, and Porter takes it out to the 40. As the game clock will tick down to the 2-minute warning. And still, 70,000 plus, almost 80,000 sit and watch. They've seen this never.
$27-0 to score, and the report card indicates why the score is 27-0. For Miami, that streak is stopped. 23 yards rushing last week. Troy Stratford had 169 by himself.
This is only the 5th time in 18 years the Bills have beaten Miami, and they play twice this season.
Kelly's numbers in the first half, I think he was 10 of 11. Harmon, personal best. First shutout of the Dolphins since 1982. And there's our most valuable player, Ronnie Harmon.
Out of the University of Iowa, while we have a moment, thanks to our NBC statistician Elliot Calv, to our spotters Larry Gluck and Pete Fearley. We're down to 2 minutes to play. Harmon, remember he started the game off as the I-back. His running back coach congratulated him. There was Elijah Pitts, who played on those 5 Packard championship teams of Lombardi. And his son, Ronnie Pitts, returns punts as the DB for Buffalo. Out to the 42-yard line. Goes the carrier. Ricky Porter. Rick Draft knocks him down. Rookie linebacker for the Dolphins. Now Miami will get it back on a punt.
Again, Ronnie Harmon, our MVP.
The Most Valuable Player Award sponsored by Budweiser. Today's MVP, Ronnie Harmon from the Buffalo Bills. Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of all the MVPs selected in today's game. Scott Schwades is back.
They're going to let the 30-second clock expire. 5 yards means nothing to them here. They want as much time off the clock as possible.
And probably at this point, Miami does too.
Yeah, I don't imagine they'll be calling timeout. Let's get out of here before somebody gets seriously injured.
But who's going to end up winning this division? Bill Polian, the general manager of the Bills, said after all their people sat down and tried to assess it, they think 9 and 6 would win it, but only with a tiebreaker. The 10 and 5 would win it outright. That means one of these teams would have to, including today's game, go on a 5-game win streak.
There is one thing that's interesting about the remaining games.
The Dolphins won today. They'd be in very good position because they'd be home for 3 of their last 4.
There seems to be one team that appears on everybody's schedule from here on out. For Buffalo, they play the Eagles in the last game of the season. Miami plays Philadelphia, second to last game of the season. I don't know who it favors.
I'll tell you, Philadelphia's doing some damage to New England. They'll be out of first place at the end of the day because of the Eagles.
Indianapolis plays here. We know that.
No, Buffalo plays at Indianapolis.
Oh, at Indianapolis, excuse me. So that favors Indianapolis because Dickerson does not like to run in the cold.
.54 seconds to go, and it'll be second down and 10 as Strock can't make the connection with Jim Jensen. The story of the Buffalo success today is going to be a continuing one because these players are young on this defense. Nesner, another rookie, is now in there at nose tackle. Bills kept 7 draft choices from the '87 draft, and all of them played. Kelly's only 27 years old, and he's one of the older Buffalo Bills. Marino's only 26. Incomplete throw to Scott Schwades on an out pattern at the 45-yard line.
Tough for Miami. They're standing there on the sideline realizing they'll be home for Christmas. for Don Shula. He won't let this team quit at all for the rest of the season, but it is basically planned for next year from here on out.
And that is the bottom line. They'll come out in the next game against the Jets, and the one after that, and the one after that, like the playoff spot was on the line.
But you're still looking at next year. Some strange things have to happen for Miami to get back in this.
Then it's Thompson anyway. Crash Jensen can't make the reception. 45 seconds to go.
May not look nice if you're a Miami fan, but one of the things I guess you get as a football player winning 27-0 is the right to kind of rub it in a little bit. That's the way it'll stand. For Miami to get back in this, the rest of the AFC East has to lose every game, and Miami have the best record overall. Any tiebreaker, Miami loses.
Mark Duper is down. The clock continues to run down to, as you see, 35 seconds to play. Standing in salute here in cold Buffalo. Jim Kelly, the prime mover of the Bills on offense.
That's probably fitting somewhat, too, that the offense finishes the game on the field. One snap and it's over. That was a fourth down attempt.
The Bills have remaining at Raiders, at Colts, home to play New England, at Philadelphia.
A lot of ats in these last four games, huh?
Talking about a guy who can play football right there.
With a month's practice.
Cornelius Bennett.
After not having played for 10 months. A month's practice. I think if I were the Miami Dolphins, I'd go straight to the bus. Forget the shower. Get out of here.
It's final officially now, even though it was long ago. The Bills rank the Dolphins 27-0.
Two good buddies. Almost both went to Pitt. Both recruited by Pitt.
I think they're both recruited by everybody. Well, a long flight back for the Dolphins. There'll be a party in Buffalo tonight. In a moment, we'll continue to review the action of today's game. There will be better days for the Dolphins. I don't know if Buffalo's ever had a better one. 27-0 Bills. Now for Bob Trumpy, this is Don Cricky. Stay tuned for the Skins game right after these messages from your local station.